Erdogan's Crimean curveball, NATO ally calls for return to Ukraine. In a diplomatic bombshell that's sure to ruffle feathers in the Kremlin, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has gone from Putin's dear friend to Ukraine's unexpected cheerleader. Speaking at the 4th Crimea Platform Leaders Summit, Erdogan dropped a truth bomb that's bound to leave Moscow reeling. The return of Crimea to Ukraine is a requirement of international law. Talk about a plot twist. Turkey, the NATO member that's been playing both sides like a geopolitical Jedi, has finally picked a team, and it's not the one wearing Ushanka hats. Erdogan's bold declaration is a far cry from the cozy chats and energy deals that have defined Russo-Turkish relations in recent years. But wait, there's more. The Turkish president didn't stop at Crimea. He went full throttle, advocating for the rights of Crimean Tatar Turks and calling for a fair and lasting peace based on Ukraine's territorial integrity, sovereignty, and independence. It's like Erdogan suddenly remembered he's part of NATO and decided to act like it. Diplomatic dance or geopolitical gambit? While Erdogan's words might sound like music to Ukrainian ears, let's not forget Turkey's complicated tango with Russia. This is the same country that's been buying Russian gas, building Russian-designed nuclear plants, and generally thumbing its nose at Western sanctions. So, what gives? Is this a genuine change of heart, or just another move in Turkey's high-stakes game of international chess? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Putin's not going to be sending Erdogan any friendship bracelets anytime soon. Blinken-Lammy's excellent adventure, a tale of two diplomats. Dynamic duo drops into Kyiv, promises, pledges, and air raid sirens. While Erdogan was busy dropping truth bombs, Secretary of State Antony Blinken and British Foreign Secretary David Lammy were tag-teaming their way through Kyiv. Their mission? To show Putin that the West got Ukraine's back to the tune of $1.5 billion in fresh aid. Blinken, ever the smooth operator, announced over $700 million in humanitarian aid, while Lammy, not to be outdone, pledged a cool $782 million in assistance and loan guarantees. It's like a diplomatic version of anything you can do, I can do better, but with fewer show tunes and more geopolitical implications. The dynamic duo's visit wasn't all handshakes and photo ops, though. Air raid sirens played an unexpected supporting role, forcing the diplomats to cancel a wreath-laying ceremony and reminding everyone that this isn't just a game of international monopoly. Lives are at stake. Long-range dreams and winter schemes. But the real drama unfolded when Ukrainian officials renewed their pleas for long-range missiles. It's like asking your parents for the keys to the car, but instead of a joyride, you want to strike targets deeper inside Russia. Talk about a tough sell. Blinken, ever the diplomat, promised to take the discussion back to Washington, probably hoping Biden would be the one to say no. Meanwhile, Lammy called the conflict critical, which is diplomatic speak for things are getting real, folks. Putin's jet-set ultimatum when vacation plans go nuclear. From Russia with jets, Putin's Turkish holiday hits turbulence. Just when you thought international relations couldn't get any weirder, enter Vladimir Putin and his vacation demands. The Russian president, apparently not content with just a window seat, is insisting on bringing his own fighter jet escort for a potential trip to Turkey. It's like showing up to a dinner party with your own security detail, chef, and a portable nuclear reactor just in case. Putin's unusual request has thrown a wrench in the travel plans, leaving Turkish officials scratching their heads and NATO allies reaching for the popcorn. NATO's nervous Nelly, Turkey's tightrope act. Turkey, caught between its NATO obligations and its complicated relationship with Russia, is in a bit of a pickle. On one hand, they've got Putin demanding a fighter jet entourage. On the other, they've got 31 NATO allies giving them the side-eye. As Turkish Defense Minister Yaşar Güler put it, in an environment where 32 allies are together, it is unthinkable to have the same views on every issue. That's diplomatic speak for, we're trying our best. Guys, cut us some slack. The West's Russian roulette, fear of victory or fear of defeat. Zelensky's zinger, West afraid of Russian loss. In a twist that would make Night Shyamalan proud, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has suggested that the West might actually be afraid of Russia losing the war. It's like rooting for the underdog, only to panic when they start winning. Zelensky's theory. The West fears unpredictable geopolitical consequences if Russia loses. It's the geopolitical equivalent of be careful what you wish for, you might just get a fragmented, nuclear-armed former superpower on your hands. History repeats, echoes of the Soviet collapse. This cautious approach isn't new. Back in 1991, when the Soviet Union was doing its best Jenga impression, Western leaders were more focused on keeping the tower from toppling than celebrating freedom. As President George H.W. Bush even warned against suicidal nationalism in his infamous Chicken Kyiv speech. The worry then, as now, was about nuclear weapons and military might being scattered to the four winds. It's like trying to clean up after a really big, really dangerous party. Nobody wants to be left holding the bag, or in this case, the nuke. As the conflict in Ukraine grinds on, one thing's clear. In the high-stakes game of international relations, sometimes winning can be just as scary as losing. The question is, will the West overcome its fear of Russian defeat in time to secure a Ukrainian victory? Stay tuned. Folks, this geopolitical roller coaster is far from over. Subscribe for more.